Hello and welcome to an exceptional, especially late edition of the Daily Market News. My name is, of course, the General Stone. I do work for the phenomenal world's finest, bing, goptions.com, and I hope that you're joining me here today, Tuesday the 22nd of October, to get some final thoughts on the trading day and hopefully to take some of those opinions of yours and turn them into some real tasty profits. Looking at the title right now, pretty much like my video, better late than never. Of course, the US non-farm payrolls have completely flopped. They're not only 2-3 weeks late, they came in abysmally. We were really hoping for some positive news. God only knows that the US needed some positive news. I think Obama right now is probably consolidating the loss and drinking away a bottle of scotch somewhere in the Oval Office. All I can tell you is that pretty much everyone was on this one, watching like a hawk, just because it's a special occasion. When do we ever see a non-farm payroll in the middle of the month? Just doesn't happen. In fact, I don't even remember a previous time that it happened. Anyway, to the news. Dollar tumbling, weak US jobs data, very simple. What does that really mean to us traders? Okay, so there's less jobs created, less people in new jobs, fine. But also it means that the Fed Reserve plans to continue with this stupid quantitative easing stimulus. And I do call it stupid, many people shouting at me, obviously we need some stimulus. But printing and printing and printing and printing and printing and printing money isn't going to help the situation. Benaki, thank God you're about to leave us. I just really hope you guys change up some of the policies. If not, goodbye superpower. Looking at world number 2, world traders seeking fresh opportunities. This is pretty much part of my Attack the US market report. US stocks, bonds and even treasury holdings are getting bearish. What does that mean? People are selling it like it's on fire and about to hurt them. US stock owners, US bond owners, treasury holders, they are selling these assets, selling these holdings like there's no tomorrow, like it's Armageddon and the money they need it now to buy water supplies to prepare for doomsday. That's how fast they're selling it. I kid you not. US is having a bad day. So let's move on to European zone. Some interesting news here, and I'm always obsessed with the banking news, pretty much because I'm always worried about my money in the banks. What happens if I wake up one day and they're no longer there? On that note, obviously G options guarantees your same-day withdrawals in your accounts up to $500,000. Looking at the Eurozone, it's shifting its focus to the Polish banks right now. Really interesting. Poland has been coming up in the ranks, not only in form of financial sense, but also in terms of educational context. They have some of the largest under 18 scores for their educational tests and stuff, and I forget all the major details, but very simply, the education's been getting better. They've had a fantastic education minister. They've had less people having to leave the country to find jobs elsewhere, and they're now finding that in terms of literacy, numeracy, and all of these main basic concepts that let us judge which country is having a better educated pool than others, they're doing very well. So with that in mind, they've actually come up with this new sort of regulatory state, new regulations that are going to keep a fragile sort of Western Europe fractured away from the rest of Europe. The key to understand with this, it's quite a big news piece, it's very simple. European banks all pretty much fell down in the same way at the same time for the same reasons. What Poland in this specific case is trying to do is to put in some new regulations to make sure that should the worst happen again, that some of it is fractured and segmented so that the entire zone doesn't fall at the same time. I'm all for this one, and in fact, I've got some Polish blood in me, believe it or not. Thank you very much, Grandpa Izzy. But I really hope that it goes forward for them, because at the end of the day, they're coming up the ranks. A stronger Europe is good for everyone, especially when payrolls and the US is flopping as it does. We must have some positive trends in there to feel good. Moving on to the hot picks, really simple ones, and I really genuinely hope that you take these on for the rest of tonight. My last hot picks for the last 2 weeks have been spot on, daily, in and out. So at the end of the day, you've got to listen on this one. Euro dollar, 30-second, 10-minute expiries. I'll leave it at that. Euro dollar price has been skyrocketing due to the weak and lousy dollar. I'll say ladder options, but not many of you are using them yet. But just imagine that you got there in time for the non-farm payrolls. In the hours that followed the payrolls today, the euro dollar broke up and up and up and up. You can have over 1,000% payout if you touch the ladder there. But even so, I'd say 30 seconds and 10-minute options would be best specifically for that euro dollar. On the downside, one of my favorite pairs, the dollar Japanese yen, hourly, end of day and ladder options. If you'd like more info on how to trade these assets, or you'd like more info on the news, or in fact you'd like to talk to my crazy face, do contact me here on my Skype and email info below. Behind me, some simple stuff on the VIP accounts. If you didn't know, G options, treats, decent clients in a very decent manner, but in fact any client of any amount receives stellar service. If you do have some major money rolling around, whether it's with this platform, that platform, or with some other form of exchange, come and talk to me. I'll make you a tasty offer. In the meantime, thank you for being patient. My name's been the General Stone. You have a good night trading.